As someone who's been fascinated in filmmaking my entire life and was actually drawn to filmmaking by way of science fiction, I find out now that reality has become like science fiction. I'd be fascinated in making some kind of documentary format about what is going on. In the last couple of years, we have seen the rise of authoritarianism, with people being denied freedom of assembly, the freedom to protest, and even freedom of speech has been heavily curtailed. People being locked in their houses for many, many months at a time, which has denied people the ability to live their lives in the so-called pursuit of saving lives. This is in response to a virus which has a mortality rate of 0.008% in Australia, according to government websites. And the average coronavirus death is 84 years old, whereas the average life expectancy in Australia is 82 years old. It is very concerning what's going on. Many people are rightfully upset, and I thought it's only fair to bring the other side of the story to you.
One more time! Kill the bill! 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 Kill the bill!
I believe that this is about human rights and it's about freedom, and I believe that what these politicians are doing in there is breaking the laws of our own constitution.
Pandemic legislation that gives him way too many powers in terms of calling a pandemic when there's not even cases, discriminating against people based on things that you're not allowed to discriminate against, like race, gender, your anti-discrimination laws, but also vaccinated or medical status.
Straight fucking danger. If you don't know anything about this pandemic bill, you can be detained for anything. Anything they can detain you for.
In my 44 years of life, ever dreamt of coming to the Western world to experience such a thing.
We've had our freedoms removed. We've been locked up. We've had police harassing people.
I've seen the police be used as the personal attack dog for the government. I've seen the police be used as a private militia, and I've seen the police do anything but serve and protect.
It's been scary wanting to come and voice our opinion and having to be fined or dodge police, seeing on TV 12-year-old kids and 16-year-old kids being, held by the neck from police officers because they're not wearing a mask.
He's fucking choking me! He's choking me! What the fuck? Let go of the fuck off me! Get the fuck him!
These are the things that have been scary. The police have absolutely petrified my kids because of the footage that they have seen.
Big Pole have had people that have actually resigned because they didn't want to do any of this stuff.
I'm here to speak to all of you, not just in the crowd, standing up against this bill, but also to my former colleagues behind me. When you sign up to be a police officer or PSO, you swear an oath that you will serve the community without favour or affection, malice or ill will. These permanent pandemic laws are incompatible with that oath of office.
I call on all former servicemen, former policemen who have sworn an oath to Australia to stand up against those that are oppressing us again today. Now, thanks again, and fight for our freedom.
But you've still got people that need to make money. They need to put food on the table for their kids, so they come to work every day and they do what they don't want to do. And I know this because I've had police talk to people and they've said, we don't want to do this. We think this is wrong. Yet we can't say no or we'll lose our job.
A lot of people have lost their jobs. Businesses have been shut down because of lockdown. And it's put a lot of pressure, especially on families, business owners, but also the mental health aspect. Having bottle shops open and gyms closed wasn't very good at all.
People need interaction. People need to be around each other. And one of the most powerful things for the human immune system is to be around people and is to be able to breathe the air freely.
In our school that committed suicide during the lockdowns. St. Joseph's in Geelong, I think they lost 3 or 4 kids to suicide during the lockdowns.
Sydney University's Brain and Mind Centre, backed by the AMA that says the economic and social impacts of this virus shutdown risk a death rate from suicide that could be as high as 4 times what we'll see out of the pandemic itself.
The mental health issues. My daughter is suffering from mental health issues because of these lockdowns, and we can't get a psychologist. All the psychologists are booked out. You can't get a psychologist appointment for 6 months.
What we're seeing is protesters in action that have had enough of the Daniel Andrews government. A lot of people have lost their jobs, have been coerced, forced into getting vaccination. Just a lot of people that have fed up of this tyranny, of this pressure.
Right now, we are having this pandemic bill, which is going to give the premier absolute powers, which some of us didn't even see in Africa. So we are here to put our voice.
A few days ago, Daniel Andrews posted that all these protests that are happening are not democratic whatsoever. But was it democratic shooting rubber bullets at people?
This is fucking Australia!
It's all the people that stood by and allowed peaceful protesters to be shot on more than one occasion, unarmed and at a distance, and said nothing.
You got pepper sprayed.
I did.
They've done all that for health.
Yeah.
That's for health.
Isn't it? Absolutely. Yes, for our health. Yeah. That's the priority here, isn't it? Our bloody health.
Was it democratic pushing 70-year-old ladies over? Was it democratic thousands upon thousands of people losing their jobs? That isn't democracy.
The Premier Dan Andrews is coming out and telling us that we're extremists. I am not an extremist. I'm a mum who cares for my kids, and I just want us to have a normal upbringing.
I refuse to follow the narrative of Daniel Andrews and his government. We want to be free. That's why we are here. These are the most free-loving Australians who upon which the future of this country depends.
So we speak for freedom for all of Australians.
Come down from 2.5 hours up north just to add my support. Really don't want this new bill to be passed.
It's a good spirit. You know what? People are aware of what's going on at the moment. We are here and because we think that all Australians need to wake up and fight for their rights and no more mandates. Kill the bill. Sack down Andrews.
Sack down Andrews! Basically, this is a representation of the line in the sand that was drawn by the Victorian people, that they've had enough. You can only back people into a corner so much until people are finally ready to fight back. As a people, we've witnessed more than anything that if you give a government too much rope, you'll end up hanging yourself.
So we are here protesting freedom, pro-choice. All we want to do is just get our lives back. We don't want the mandates. We don't want anything to be forced upon us. And what we do here at Parliament Steps every night is we try and hold the line. Everyone comes down, we just make sure that we're here as a community. It's the most beautiful shit I've ever seen, to be honest. I've never felt such a sense of community in my life. I've come from a religious background. I rejected religion a long time ago. This is probably what religion is supposed to feel like. Just love, peace, unity, a lot of kindness and a lot of togetherness. And it's beautiful.
Hey, give it up for all our freedom fighter speeches! Get up, stand up, sing it! Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
your rights, as Bob Marley once said.
Thanks for watching, and let's keep the conversation alive while it's still legal.